Welcome in this blend mode tester tutorial. I will teach you how to use this asset. So let's assume we have a scene and we want to add a sun to the scene. So let's do this. In this images folder you have several images you can test different blend modes. So for example, I have this image here which is similar to shape of the sun. So let's make it bigger and place it, for example, here. So now we'll add blend mode component, and in this component you can see several options. For now on we will not turn on advanced mode. We will do this in a minute, but we'll check what we have here. So we have simple blend mode. We can choose one of those, and these are pre set blend modes which act like these names here, and we have also options to preview previous blend mode and next blend mode pressing these buttons, or we can press random button. For now we will leave it as is, and we'll try the first blend mode, which is additive. As you can see, our sprite turned into shiny object, which is similar to sun on a sunny day. We can of course do this with any sprite. So for example, I have few simple sprites you can check. When you create sprites like this, you must make sure that for example, these rays are not cropped along with the image, because it will look a little weird. I left it this way so you can see what you should avoid. If you wonder how to create such images, you can open GIMP, and in the filters you can find filters which will produce such images. So it is very easy to find and make in GIMP, so I recommend you to do this, or you can use these images which are placed in images folder. So let's add this component to our remaining sprites. So if we click additive to the second image, we will add another one and another one. As you can see, this looks a lot different. So that was a simple mode for blend mode tester. We can select this checkbox, which is advanced mode, and as you can see, after pressing this checkbox, you can have more options. So basically blend modes work that way, that we have a source, which is our sprite, and we have a destination, which is this background, and Unity calculates what color will be visible on the screen using this formula. So we take our source, our sprite color, and multiply it by some factor, and we will add this, because this is an add function used, to destination color, which is background, multiplied by this other factor. And this formula calculates resulting color of each pixel which are blended. Of course, you can modify this by changing factors, which are 11 of them. So you can change source factor and destination factor. Also, you can change blend operator, which are 5. You can also use advanced operators. So when you check this box, you have 36 operators, but please note that not all of them are available for all platforms. So you must check if your destination device supports these functions. You can check this in the Unity documentation. There are specified DirectX versions and so on. So we will turn this off. This preview and next buttons also work here, so we can press this next button. As you can see, our sprite is changing. You can use these checkboxes to turn off, for example, change of source factor. So if I turn this off, when I'm pressing next, only destination factor and blend operator will be changed. So if the whole range of factors will be checked, the next blend operator is selected and so on. So pressing this next button, we can check all destination factors and blend operators. If we select this source factor, also we can check all of them, but there are many of them, as you can calculate by yourself, multiplying all source factors by all destination factors and all functions. So there are many blend modes you can use. So that is why it is important to have some tool to be able to see what each of the blend modes do. This blend mode component also is doing something in your assets folder. So it will create materials folder, and inside of this materials folder it will create created folder, and you can see in this folder that we have multiple materials, which are all of them created by blend mode component. Each material is using different blend mode. If you click on one of these materials, you can see that we have source factor, destination factor, and blend operator which is used. So you can modify for each materials also these parameters here. Generally, you can delete this folder unless you are using one of these materials. Then you must make a copy of it. Also, you can rename it and use this your own name, but be aware that blend mode component will recreate that material if it is missing. So for example, this sun here is using additive blend mode, which is source alpha and 1. As you can see, this is source factor is source alpha and destination factor is 1, and blend operator is add. The naming convention used here is BM as blend mode, SR is meaning sprite render, and these three numbers denote source factor, destination factor, and blend operator. So we have several factors which are numbered from 0 to 10. So this first and second number could be something from 0 to 10, and the last one is this blend operator. So so we can have a number from 0 to 35, but if this advanced operators is turned off, so we have only from 0 to 4. So if you want to find your blend mode, you can, as I've said, delete this folder. Of course, everything disappeared, but if we click in our objects, they will be recreated. So this sun object used this material, which was 5 as source alpha, 1 as 1, and 0 as add function is at the place 0. So that way you can, for example, change this name to something more suitable. For example, sun material, and from now on you can use only this material for your sun. Of course, when I clicked this object, the component recreated this material again because it was missing, because I changed its name. You generally don't need blend mode component on your objects. It is required only to check different blend modes, and when you have the blend mode which you are interested in, you can safely remove this component, and material which was created is used by this object, so everything works like it should. Also, you can change the name, like I've said earlier, to something more suitable, like sun material, and apply this material to your object, and you can safely delete these created materials because you have a copy of each of one of them. What if we want to create something else than glowing objects like this sun? We can, for example, check some other blend modes. So let's select another image, for example this white dot on black background. We'll stretch it a little and we'll add blend mode tester, and now we can change blend mode. Of course, if we change to additive, it will be glowing ball, but we want to change it to something else. For example, we'll change it to reverse subtract, and as you can see, this looks like something like black hole or some kind of shadow, and we can place it somewhere in our scene. Of course, because this sprite uses blend mode, we can have multiple copies of this sprite, and all of them are blending seamlessly without problems. So you can have quite interesting effects using only this. This blend mode shader, which is used by these materials, is almost exactly the same like Unity sprite shaders. In the images folder you can also find this big sprite, which we will reduce, and as you can see it is multiple images from these examples which are grouped together, and we can see how this behaves when we apply some blend mode to it. So for example, if we changed it to additive, you can see how different colored sprites behave after applying this blend mode. So for example, we will press this next button to check soft additive, subtract. As you can see, black pixels behave differently than white pixels, and colored pixels also have different behavior. Reverse, subtract, multiply, second one, minimum, maximum, pre-multiplied alpha, invert colors. So for example, if you want to have some kind of effect when you create inverse colors of the background image, the only thing you need to do is to place white square image and apply invert colors blend mode. As you can see, these mountains are like inverse image. Now I will show you more options for this blend mode. So for example, if we create for another sprite, which will be this sun sprite, and when we add blend mode to it, for example additive, you can see that it is shining the same way that this previous sun, but we can change the shader type to sprite blending 2, and you can see that this second sprite is shining more than this previous one. This second shader allows you to exaggerate these effects a little more, so they will look brighter or darker depending on the blend mode. So for example, if we choose additive to our images here and choose second sprite, you can see that they are brighter. Or if we choose subtract, there is a difference when using this second shader. So this second shader has one more advantage, which will allow you to control the amount of effect which is applied to this sprite. You can change these parameters by changing sliders in the material itself, but be aware that all sprites which are using this blend mode component are using the same sprite. So if you change one material, you will change it to all sprites which are using this material. So if you want to have two sprites with different parameters set, you must create two materials and change every one of them. So let's change some parameters for this material. This material is called BM-SR2. SR2 because it is sprite blending second shader, and so we can find this material in our folder. As you can see, this second shader has these two sliders, which you can slide and see what is happening to this sprite. So you can experiment with that, and you can also see the code for this shader by clicking this edit button and see how this is applied to the final color produced by this shader. Now we will use this blend mode to create some effects for line renderer. So I will delete this object, and also we'll move this sideways, and let's create some line renderer. So we have a new object with a line renderer attached. We will reset transfer component, and now I will create some lines. So for example, I click and create some kind of spiral line. And now we must create material for this line renderer and apply it to this object. So we'll create material like you always do. So for example, we'll click on materials folder, create new material. You can name it, I will leave it as this. And now we must choose our texture. So we can use one of those which we have in this folder. I will choose this sun texture, which you already know, and we must change shader to one of these shaders, so default blending or default blending 2. This second version is with these sliders, as you saw previously. So I will choose this second one, and now we must specify which source factor and destination factor will be used by this material. So if you don't know what to choose, because there are many of them, you can use previously created object like the sun, for example, and see what parameters were used here. So for example, this object number 4, which is this glowing sphere, is using source alpha and 1, and operator is add. So we can choose this for our material. So let's do that. So we have our material, and we will select source alpha 1, and function will be add. The sliders I will leave as is. So I have material created, and now I can assign this material to our line renderer. So in the line renderer parameters we have materials, and we assign it. As you can see, this line renderer is now using this sun texture, which is stretched, and as you can see, it is using also the same blend mode as this sun. If you want to change to something else, you can manipulate these parameters, and for example, you can choose something different. For example, we can change operator to reverse subtract, and we have slightly different look for this material. The last one thing I would like to show you will be how to use these blend modes for your UI. First we'll delete all of that, and we'll create some UI, and we'll try to apply this blend mode to our UI. So for example, we'll create UI let's have a button. We'll change this to camera. Place our button in the middle. I will make it bigger. And now we must change sprite used by this button. It is default one, UI sprite, and also we can change these sprites which are used when we select or press this button. So let's use some buttons, some sprites from our folder. I will select few of them so we can see that they are changing. For now, when we press play, as you can see, button is working, but we don't see any blend mode because material which is used by this image is set to none. So we must create material like we did for our line renderer, and we can assign this material to our button. So we'll drag this material to button, and as you can see, our button is looking differently. If we press play, it is changing and all blend modes are applied. So basically, this blend mode component will allow you to check or test every blend mode for a game, and if you find something interesting which you can use, you can apply it to your sprites or your line render or UI whenever you want.